Hi everyone, I'm Marcy. Some of you may know me as the Snack Attack Lady, but this is something new I've been working on, trying to help families like myself that are a little strapped for cash but still want to try to cook fresh, healthy meals for their families. Playing with some names, Budget Chef is kind of one I'm working with, but I'm still thinking of ideas. Today, what I'm going to make for you is chicken fajitas. Um, I chose chicken fajitas because they're real simple, they're real quick, and for a family of four, it comes to a little less than $8 a serving. That's with the marinade, the chicken, the vegetables, and everything. Um, I got some chicken breast at the store, and I marinated it in a marinade of a half a cup of olive oil, a quarter a cup of lime juice, um, some cumin, some salt and pepper, some red pepper flakes, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion. Let that sit for about an hour or so in the fridge. Didn't want to make you sit through all that while I put all that together. Um, so I marinated the chicken, fried it up in a nice hot frying pan. If you got cast iron, that works great. I don't have that, so I just use my good old non-stick frying pan. Again, you want to give that about 8 to 10 minutes aside, depending on how big your piece of chicken is. My chicken is very, very big, some very big pieces. This is a little over a pound of chicken to serve four people. So I'm just going to put this in the oven while I finish working on the veggies, so it can just finish cooking and be cooked all the way through. With chicken especially, we want to make sure we have it cooked to 165 degrees, so we don't get sick. So there's that going in the oven. That's a stoneware plate, so it is oven safe. And at the same time, I've got my tortillas wrapped in foil with just a little sprinkling of water, and I'm going to let them warm up too, so they're nice and soft for our fajitas. Like I said, now we're going to work on the vegetables. For four people, you want two bell peppers. Green peppers obviously are a little bit cheaper. Where I got them, they were about 78 cents a piece. The colored peppers were $1.50 each, but I wanted it to look pretty, so I spent a little bit more and got the orange pepper. And then you're just going to need an onion. Onions come in a 3-pound bag, so you only use one at a time. So it's a little bit of an investment when you're first buying the onion, but after that, you've got onions for many meals. So we're just going to take and cut off, not the root end, but the top of the onion. Got my little garbage container there ready to go. I'm going to peel out the outer layer of the onion. Get all that off. Usually the outer layer is a little drier, it's got some funky spots in it. We don't want to eat that. We don't want that in our food. So we're going to take that off. And you'll notice I left the root end on. The reason for that is twofold. I've been told in the past that if you leave the root end on, it doesn't make you cry as much when you cut an onion. I've had mixed results with that, but it does leave a nice little handle for when you're cutting your onions that you're going to end up throwing away anyway, so might as well leave it on and put it to use while it's there. The way I like to do onions for fajitas is I cut them in half, and then I'm going to take and cut little slices almost all the way through lengthwise on the onion. You want to make sure you have a good sharp knife for this, because the sharper your knife, the less of those oils are going to get released when you cut your onion, and the less likely you are to cry. And then there's that root end that I told you we were going to leave on. Now that we're done cutting, we're just going to cut it off, and we've got our nice sliced onion. And that goes in the trash. Do that again with the other half. Try to keep those fingers out of the way. We don't want any stitches. We don't want anyone to go to the hospital. Cut the end off. There's our onion. Peppers. Peppers are real easy. A lot of people, when they cut peppers, they like to cut out the inside and hollow it out. When I went to culinary school, I learned a little bit easier of a way, and this is the way I do it all the time now. Even when I cook at work, I did make sure I washed my vegetables before I started cutting them. But for peppers, you're going to cut off the top. I'm just going to pop that stem out of there. It's okay if the top breaks a little bit. Cut off the bottom. I'm going to save those. And we're just going to cut a slice in the side and cut these white membranes off. Just kind of chase it around in a circle there. Then your seeds and everything comes out in a nice little packet, and you just throw it away. You might have a few straggler seeds, that's no problem. Just pick them up with your fingers, toss them in the trash. And then you've got this nice ring that you can lay out flat and just slice little julienne slices of pepper. I am not one of those chefs that can no, I've never been able to do that, but you want to try to get nice consistent cuts however fast you do it, so that they'll cook evenly, so that you won't have some pieces that are burned or some pieces that are still crunchy while the others are just cooked perfectly. Tops and the bottoms don't come out quite as pretty, but you just cut them the same way, just in a nice even strips. And like I said, for a family of 4, you want about 2 good sized bell peppers, whatever colors you choose. If you're feeding a couple more, or if you've got a hungrier family, you can always put in more peppers and onions without making driving the cost up too high. Alright, now we're going to do our orange pepper. It's fall time, Halloween time around here right now, so I got orange and green to be festive. It just felt like fun. And again, cut our slice in the side, chase it around the circle. Throw our seed packet away, clean up some strays, and just slice it into slices. My chefs from culinary school would probably tell you that I never had the best knife skills in the class, but I got the job done. At the end of the day, as long as nobody gets hurt and your food comes out good quality, that's what's important. Alright, there's that. Bottom. See, can you imagine if I made you sit here and watch the chicken cook? That'd have been boring. Alright, so now we got our veggies cooked, we've got our peppers cooked. Oops, didn't quite get that onion cut as much as I'd like. And we're ready to turn our pan back on. Now I'm using the same pan I cooked the chicken in. It still has all the juices and all the seasoning from the chicken and the marinade that I cooked before. But I didn't want to leave it cooking. I didn't want to leave it turned on while I was cutting the vegetables because I didn't want that to burn. That would not taste good. So we're going to turn it on again now. Let that get hot for just a minute. Should still be pretty hot. Yeah, it is. Ooh, pardon me. Then we're just going to take and slide all these veggies right in. Just use your hands to break up the pieces that don't quite come apart of that onion. Toss the peppers in. Alrighty, there we go. Gonna do a quick wipe. Toss. Get everything nice and coated in that nice seasoned oil. We don't want to cook the veggies too long because we don't want them to get too soggy. You do want to have a little bit of that crunchiness, that mouthfeel in your fajitas. For you and your family, you do it how you like. I like to give them about 5 minutes. Kind of toss them all together. We got some flyers there. The peppers will lose a little bit of their color, and that's normal. It's also another reason why you don't want to spend too much on the colored peppers because they do fade a little bit. And while that's cooking down, I'm going to pull out my poultry cutting board and get my chicken and tortillas out of the oven. Tortillas feel like they should be nice and warm through. And my chicken. Ideally, you want to give your chicken 10 minutes or so to rest. But again, as I said, my chicken was a lot thicker than I thought when I bought it in the package. But we're just going to take and cut this into thin strips now, just like we did our veggies. Yeah, it's nice and cooked through. Yeah, some of that chicken's still a little pink. So we'll see if we can get it to brown up in the pan. If not, we'll stick it back in the oven. Now this one's a little smaller, so maybe I'd better look at this one. Yeah, this one's better. Dishes out of the way here. That one's still a little hot. Chicken's cooking up nicely here in the pan. At least we know it's not overcooked. Overcooked chicken's never very good. But this is getting just nice and done. While we heat it up with our veggies, I'm making a huge mess. That was some big stinking chicken. I know you can't see it, but my cats are down here checking out what I've dropped. I'm losing half of it to the floor. Oh well, guess it's time to invest in a bigger pan. Alright, now that all the pink is gone out of my chicken, I'm going to get my tortillas out. Put one together here for you. Fire off. But this chicken, we only need like 1 piece per sandwich, so this is going to make a lot. Yeah, maybe 2 if I can find another little one. There we go. Get some of them pretty veggies in there. And you can make Spanish rice. You can warm up some refried beans to go with this to make it a little more of a meal if your family likes to have a little bit more substantial of a meal. Spanish rice is real easy, real simple. If you make it from scratch, it comes out to, you know, like $1.80 a serving. Or I beg your pardon, it was like $1. When I priced it out myself, it was about $1.80 for 4 servings. So it's really inexpensive, and it can really fill up a hungry family. Refried beans, you can just warm them up straight out of the can. You can certainly get pinto beans and look up how to refry them yourself. Stuff in, if you look at the recipes carefully, the stuff in the can is pretty much just water, salt, and beans. Maybe some garlic powder, onion powder, depending on what brand you look at. So there's really not much, you know, you can do to improve on that as far as a health standpoint goes. But it will fill up your plate and it will fill up your bellies a little bit more, all without adding a whole lot to the price tag of the meal. So this is our chicken fajita, and I hope I was able to give you some ideas. Thanks for your patience. This is my very first attempt at something like this, so I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.